Welcome in, folks. I'm always impressed by how many people show up early to these webinars. It's always great to see. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. Maybe pop in where you're joining from today. Typically, we have an international crowd joining these. Oof, did I see snow in Minnesota already? That's rough. Meanwhile, it was literally 80 degrees yesterday in Chicago, which was, I think, a little disconcerting. Paris, UK, awesome. All right, welcome to everyone that's just joining. Yeah, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, mention maybe where you're from if you create any sort of long form content. We'll give it one more minute. And this will be recorded and sent out after. So if you have to leave or if you join a little late, you'll get that recording after. I like that. Make boring newsletters look more interesting. You've come to the right place. All righty. Well, I think we will kick it off. As I mentioned, this is recorded and we will be sending that out. So no worries if you miss some of it. But welcome everyone to Adobe Express and Issuu, Discovering the Ultimate Creative Duo. As many of you may already know, we just launched our new Issuu add-on for Adobe Express. So that's what we'll be diving into today. To start us out, just a brief intro. My name is Talius Chickering. I am a marketing campaign manager here at Issuu. I spearhead the webinar, event, trade show, and social media strategy. I'm a Chicago native, a coffee lover, and a Criterium racer. We also here have Audrey, our head of customer success, who will be helping answer all of your questions related to Adobe Express and all things Issuu. I don't have an intro slide, but Audrey, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here and excited for your questions.
Thanks again, Audrey. Amazing. Before we dive into the bulk of the content today, so as I mentioned, the chat and Q&A are open for you below. The chat is what you have been introducing yourselves in, but the Q&A is where ideally you will ask any questions you have. So if you have a specific question about what we're covering or about Issuu or Adobe Express, please put that in the Q&A because it will most likely get lost in the Zoom chat because there are so many messages. So if we don't answer a question, you're like, why not? It's probably because you put it in the chat in the Q&A. And if we don't get if we aren't able to answer your questions live, or via the chat or via the Q&A function, you can email us afterwards, and we'll make sure we get everything answered for you. But the goal of this webinar is to be a resource for you. So as I mentioned, you will be receiving the slides and the recording after the live event. So if you are a registrant, if you are able to attend live, you'll get this and you'll be able to look back at what we cover if you missed something or want to send it to a member of your team who is not able to attend. So the bulk of this is going to be a 40 to 45-minute presentation. It might be shorter than that. Basically diving into how like longer form content creators can use Adobe Express, the benefits of using Issue's add-on for Express. We'll then go into a full demo and kind of talk about how you can then up-level your Express content with Issue. And then we'll do a live Q&A at the end. So Audrey will be going into the Q&A function and answering your questions there. But if we aren't able to answer it, then we'll get into the live Q&A at the end. So we'll hopefully answer everyone's questions live or via the Q&A during this webinar today. So just a brief introduction to Issue. I know not everyone here is an Issue user. Some of you are, but some of you aren't. Issue is the self-service content creation and distribution platform that enables businesses to easily market themselves and grow. So what does this mean? This is everything from creation to transformation to distribution and measurement. So you can import your files from wherever you have them stored, whether that's locally on your device or with our integrations with Adobe products such as Adobe InDesign and now Adobe Express. You can then transform, or Issue automatically transforms that content into everything from an interactive digital flipbook to mobile optimized articles to social posts to embed links for your website to GIFs, etc. We'll dive into how you create some of that today. And then you can share that content, via social media, via email, just with a direct link, embed it on your website, and then go back and measure and track how that content is actually performing. So it's basically the full loop of, content distribution, measurement, and sharing. So now kind of to set the stage, kind of where we are in the content marketing space in 2023. So global digital content consumption, it continues to soar. So that trend is just continuously upward. 55% of people report spending more time consuming content online each day than they did pre-pandemic. So this is a positive trend. However, it's getting progressively harder to capture people's attention on digital platforms. So in a 2022 report by Twilio, 40% of global consumers say they have experienced digital fatigue in the last 30 days. And then 2/3 of respondents to another report only pay attention if an ad catches their interest in the first 5 seconds. So there is so much content being produced at such a rapid cadence that it is becoming progressively harder to capture people's attention, which means that your content may not be performing as well as it used to, even if you're putting a lot of effort and a lot of time into doing that. And you're looking for tools that can enable you to produce content, A, more quickly, and B, that is more effective at actually engaging your audience or your target audience. So that is essentially what we are going to be covering today with Issue's add-on for Adobe Express. So Adobe Express, as many of you may already know, is all about creating easier and dreaming bigger. So it enables anyone to create content more quickly and that's more effective. Using things like generative AI and user-friendly templates allows people or gives people more advanced tools to do things that they would not necessarily have otherwise had the time or the skills or the budget to do. And then this kind of filters, or connects really seamlessly with Issue. We're all about creating once and sharing everywhere, as we just kind of talked about. So it's all about that seamless content transformation and distribution, and then enhancing the engagement and the interactivity of whatever content you are uploading to Issue. So Adobe Express kind of tailors the creation aspect and making it easier for everyone to create, and then Issue is kind of making it easier for everyone to do content marketing with that created content. So that's why there is a really natural link between Adobe Express and Issue, and that's why we created our add-on with Adobe Express, which we are excited to share with you today. So before we dive into the actual demo, there are a few common questions that arise whenever we're talking about Adobe Express and Issuu. One of those questions is, who should be using this add-on? I think a lot of people think that based on their specific niche or specific industry, it either doesn't apply to them or they don't necessarily have the skills to do it. But that's not true. Anyone can be using Adobe Express and Issuu and our add-on together. And that includes people in the education space, students, teachers, marketers, real estate agents, entrepreneurs, salespeople, marketing departments, sports teams. The list really goes on. So whatever your niche and whatever specific content you create, you can do that with Issuu and with Adobe Express. And another kind of point that people ask here is, will I be priced out of this? Well, I'm not necessarily able to afford both tools. And I actually see one Q&A, question popped into the Q&A already. It says, will this cost additional charge to use the Issuu plugin? And the answer is no. Both Adobe Express and Issuu have a fully free plan. So you can use the integration and both platforms fully for free, but we are offering specific bundle deals to specific segments of users. So make sure you keep an eye on your inbox after this webinar live, because we will be sending you information about those bundle deals, which saves you money on Issuu and then also gets you a free period of Adobe Express. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm seeing a raised hand. If you have a question, please pop that into the Q&A and then we'll get to that there. Thanks. So the second question we often get is, what content can I create in Express and upload to Issuu? And so what I want to mention here is that Adobe Express is great for creating a whole host of content. And some of that content is really, really quick. So if you're creating a single post for Instagram or a 6-second video for a reel or a TikTok, but that is not necessarily the content that you will want to be uploading to Issuu. Issuu is all about the content that's slightly longer form, typically more than one page, that you would typically share as a PDF. So this is something like a brochure or 2 or 3 page brochure, a newsletter, a magazine, a catalog, something that takes just a little bit more time and has just a little bit more in depth than, like, say, an individual social post or a specific short form graphic, something like that. But then you're really not limited into what that content looks like. It can be anything from a student doing their portfolio to a zine to really anything like a media kit or a press release. So all that content can be created into Express, can be created in Express and uploaded to Issuu. All right, so now that we've kind of set the stage for who can be using this integration, what sort of content you can create, and kind of what the benefit is of using Express and Issuu together, let us kind of get into the meat of the integration and show you how this actually works. So this will be and Audrey, can you just confirm that we can see this screen up here, Adobe Express?
You can.
Amazing. So this will be your Adobe Express login when you first log in. And so you may already have content created that you want to upload, but we will start with finding a template, actually, because I think that's one of the benefits of Adobe Express. They have a really expansive library of templates that you can use to jumpstart your content creation. So we're going to go over to the left-hand side tab here and click Explore. And then we're going to search for a template. Let's say I'm creating a portfolio for my work or for my art. And then one thing I want to mention is that for content that's great for Issuu, see a lot of this here is just one page that pops up initially. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to select multiple pages on this, filter by menu here. And this gets us content that has more than one page. So that kind of helps you transform it into that Issuu digital flipbook, which is one of our core assets. So let's say, and you can do any of these, but let's say we want to do this photography portfolio. And you can see it's already a really great piece of content. It has 5 pages, which you can see here, and a little table of contents, a project title, some examples, and then an ending with some contact information. So, you could probably go in and edit this to your own content in 10, 15 minutes. So again, a really, really quick a really, really quick process. So we're not going to necessarily go into the customization of the Adobe Express template because you want to focus on the integration. So let's say you have finalized this piece of content. We'll title it here, portfolio example. So this is all locked and loaded. So then you're going to want to actually navigate to the issue integration. And you can find that, or the issue add-on. You can find that in the add-ons menu on the left-hand side here. So you see it says add-ons, and then you can find this via searching. It's actually third up in this featured menu right here, which is awesome. You can find it if you just scroll down a little bit via our logo. And then once you've used it, you've already connected, it's going to be saved in your add-ons. So let's go through this way. They all go to the same thing. So you're going to click issue here for the first time. And then this pops up on the right-hand side. So as you can see at the very top, this is another place where you can access that exclusive bundle offer. And then you have a variety of kind of previews here. So you have this flipbook preview, you have the embed, the GIF, and the social post. And these are all assets that are actually created by Issuu. So the flipbook is kind of that core asset. And then from that, you can create a website embed, excuse me, a GIF, which is perfect for sharing via social media or email, and then a social post, which obviously is really quick way to share your content on social media. So let's say you have not connected yet, you don't even necessarily have an Issuu account, but you want to preview your design. You can go in here and select preview your design. And this sometimes takes a few minutes depending on the size of your content. So what I'm actually going to do now is while this generates, I'm going to launch a quick poll. So you'll find that down below on your Zoom menu bar that asks if you are currently an Adobe Express or Issuu user. So that'll just kind of help us set the stage for how many people are currently using Issuu and currently using Express in the crowd today. Awesome. I'm seeing about 50-50 for Adobe Express, and we have quite a few Issuu users, which is awesome to see. Wait while this loads. I'm seeing a few questions here. One asking if this will integrate with the older software version of Adobe Express. And I'm not positive, but I don't believe so. I think it's just this current newly launched web-based version, from what I understand. Seeing another question here about from Kimberly about how you use InDesign to create PDF booklets for Issuu. That is fantastic. Yeah, what we have we also have an integration with Adobe InDesign where you can go straight from InDesign into Issuu, and we have a lot of people using that as well for our longer form content. And even if you start with print and then you want to have an online companion, it's a great way to do that as well. All right, so what we can see here in this preview is you can see now that the example of the flipbook, the example of the embed, the GIF, and the social post are all your specific content. And you've actually been given this preview link. So if we click this link here, this takes you to an example of the content you have just created. So again, you can do this even without an Issuu account, but this link will expire within 24 hours. I believe it is 24 hours. But this is just so you can preview what your content actually looks like on Issuu before even setting up that Issuu account. So it's a great way to all right, I like what this is looking like, and then you can go back and make edits, and then you can re-upload and check out the preview again. I think it took a little while today because my internet bandwidth is already kind of being used by Zoom here. But then let's say you're happy with your content and you want to go ahead and connect to Issuu. Just select this connect button on the bottom right. And then if you do not already have an account, you'll be asked to create one now. But if you do have an account, just sign into that, accept the integration permissions. And then the right-hand sidebar will now kind of transform into the meat of the Issuu integration. or the issue add-on. So you can see your drafts and you can see your publications. The first time you do this, obviously nothing will be here because you've not published anything to issue. But since we're in the issues issue account right now, you can see everything we published. You can see all of our drafts. So now the final step to take here is actually to upload to issue, which you will find on this bottom right here. So click upload to issue, and you can select a title. So we'll do this portfolio express example, and then just select upload. And this is what's going to push this to issue. So this also takes just a few minutes, typically a bit shorter. We'll wait for this to load. Take another look at the Q&A here while this is loading. I'm seeing a question from Enrica. Is it possible to upload an InDesign document? So as I mentioned before, we do already have that integration with InDesign, and you can go straight from InDesign into Issue. So yes, you can do that through our InDesign integration. All right, there we go. So once you have selected upload, it will be uploaded to Issue, but only in a draft state. And the reason for this is because then you might want to go into Issue and edit details about your publication. So what we're going to do is we're going to select go to Issue here, and this is going to bring you to kind of your Issue document page. And this is what it looks like on Issue when you upload content from anywhere. So this is not just for the Express integration. This can be if you upload a content from Google Drive or your own computer or InDesign, brings you to the same place. So as you can see here, very similar to the preview that we checked out, this is now actually published as a draft on Issue, but you're going to want to finalize some details before publishing it live. So we have that same title here that you can go in and edit. And then you can also edit or add in a relevant description about what your content is. And then we have a variety of settings here, which are important to take a look at. So you can mark your content as public, unlisted, or schedule it for a specific date to go live. Public means it will appear on your public issue profile. And then unlisted is if you have content that you don't want to share necessarily with the world, but just with a few specific people, or if it's a more sensitive content or something you just want to share with partners or prospects or individuals. People who have the link are the only people to access that if you mark it as unlisted. You can also select if you want people to be able to download your issue document as a PDF on their own device, show detected links. So let's say you have like www.issue.com written out just in text in your content. If you turn this on, that will automatically become a hyperlink. You can also select a publication type and select a backdate for your publication. So for the purposes of this presentation, we're going to mark it as unlisted, and we're going to go ahead and publish this content right now, confirm you have the rights. Perfect. So now your content is live on Issue, and you can share this content in a variety of ways. So you're going to go up into the right-hand share tab right here, or actually, before share, I'm going to mention one other thing, which is our links and video feature. So this kind of allows you to customize your content that you've created in Express even further using Issue. So you're going to find this on the left-hand side menu here. Go into Add Links and Video, and this is Issue's native links and video editor. So you can select the page where you want to add the link or the video to. So we'll do the second page here. And then it's just a very simple drag and drop editor. So let's say you want to add a video that's embedded right where this image is. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link to our Issues video about our new Express add-on, go into the publication, and then just select this whole portion, drag and drop, very simple. And then you're going to want to click Insert Video here, and you can insert from YouTube or Vimeo. select V, and we're going to do embed. We'll do embed in publication, which allows it looks like it's actually where that image is as opposed to playing in an overlay. So we're going to click save there, and we're going to do publish changes on the right-hand side. And there you go. This is your newly saved document. And if you navigate to that page with the video, it's actually embedded within the publication itself. So I think this is a really clever way to kind of enhance your document and make it more engaging. Like I talked about at the beginning, if people only are looking at a piece of content for 5 seconds, you want your content to stand out. So if you're sharing what normally would be a relatively, let's say, flat experience, this, even just the flipping motion followed by the embedded video makes it something that people want to stick around and read. Here's another really great example, just to show you what a really polished piece of embedded video looks like. This is an Issuu, their digital lookbook, and you can see here, they have this embedded video playing to kind of accompany the entire vibe of the publication, which is a really slick way of doing that. And they have it on almost every page. So just some publisher inspiration here, if you will, of ways you can do this. All right, so we're going to get out of this. Back to your publication here. So you've added links, you've added video here. If you want to add a specific link, you can do that in the exact same way. Go here and just paste in a web, a shopping link, or even a go-to page link for this, something like this table of contents. You say, all right, I want to go to page 1, save, boom, there's that link. So now you're happy with your content. Oh, I navigated out of it. Just going to navigate back in a piece of content. And you want to share this. You're going to want to go to the share button on the top right here. And you have a variety of options. You have just the quick share. So this is a quick shareable link. Copy and paste that. And you can share this via email. You can just send this via a text. And it opens up this Issuu reader, super streamlined and easy to do. So this is the quickest way to do that. You can also share a full screen reader link. So this is similar to just that document link, but copy this link, and this opens it up in a full page reader view. So as you can see, it's just a little less cluttered, and there's no distractions whatsoever. It's solely focused on your content. So if you are, this, for example, if you're sharing a portfolio, you want people to really be immersed in that content, and this is a great way to do that. You can also go ahead and edit the background color here to customize how that full screen reader looks. And then you can also embed this content on your website. I'm just gonna take a drink of water here. You can also embed the content on your own website. And so you have a variety of customization options, very similar to the full screen reader. So you can go ahead and change that background color. You can change the start page. You can choose if you want it to be a double page or a single page layout, and even auto flip those pages. So then what's so great about the embed feature is you don't need to know, excuse me, is you don't need to know how to code. You can just copy and paste this embed code and then paste it into your website builder of choice. So again, Issuu is all about making this content marketing accessible to as wide a range of people as possible. And this is really part of that. So you can just copy and paste, and then the branding can fully match your website, and you can take advantage of your website traffic to get more eyes and get more impressions and engagements with your piece of content. You can also go ahead and create a QR code here. And again, this is a really good application for a portfolio example, or if you're a real estate agent showing a listing and you just have this QR code either printed out or up on your phone, people can scan it and will automatically be taken to your content. So it's a great way to kind of merge the worlds of physical and digital, which is a great way to get even more people viewing your content. And the final way to share here is to share a GIF. So we also have an integration with MailChimp. You can embed this directly in your email. You can select which pages you want to be included in this GIF. You can select the background. This is also a great way to share via social media. So again, it's just a kind of multimedia way of taking that one piece of content you've already created in Adobe Express and leveraging it across every channel. All right. So I'm also going to dive into one of our repurposing features today. So that's going to be under the left-hand side menu, repurpose. We'll take a look at the mobile articles feature. So let's say you have, a slightly longer form piece of content, like an editorial that has a few different, smaller pieces within that larger piece, and you want to share that on social media. You can go ahead and create a new article and then select the pages you want to make that article from. So let me just get Zoom out of the way here. Alrighty. So click go to editor. And then what you can do here is customize this mobile article. So this is another way to share your content on mobile. You can drag and drop the assets you want into the article. And this is what the preview of the article will be on the right. You can add another photo here. You can add captions, and then you can go in and change the paragraph style, change the text style, change whether it's aligned left, center, or right, add a bulleted list, a numbered list, etc. So you can really customize what this looks like, and then you can publish this article and then share it via social media. So this is a great way to share a smaller portion of your larger content you've created on social media. So you can see, you can preview that here and then share it out via pretty much any social channel, copy the link, paste it via any social channel. So that's another really neat feature I like to share that takes your Adobe Express content that you've uploaded to Issuu and then just kind of goes one step further, which is what we're all about. One of the final features we'll discuss today, I know there's so many we can talk about on Issuu, but I'm trying to keep it relatively brief for the purposes of this webinar. We're going to check out the statistics feature on the left-hand side menu here. So obviously we have not shared this content, so we don't have any stats. So what I will do is go check out another example here. So we'll do this. Let's see, this is an Issuu for Architects ebook. And we'll go into statistics here. Oh, this one doesn't have many either, so I'm going to go check out. Let's do this one. Oh, what? Thought I had a good one. Let's find this one. I want to find the one that has many stats so we can show what that looks like. Let's see. There we go. This is a good one. So you can see this is another I've just gone into a random publication here that Issuu has published to show you what these stats look like. But these are what the stats will look like for any of the publications you publish. As you can see, we can go in and change the date range. You can check to see whether you want to view either the information for the specific publication or the articles that you've created from that publication. And then you can download and share this PDF to share with your wider team or with your manager or etc. So you can see some really high level totals here, like impressions, reads, average read times, clicks, and then downloads. You can see kind of how many people are with the impressions, reads over time here. So you can see what specific days people are checking this out on. You can see what links people have clicked on. This actually doesn't have any links, but you can see if you've embedded links like we just talked about, you can see what links are being clicked on. And then you can actually see what pages have the most impressions and reads and reach time. So if let's say you have, a content that you really want to get people to take a look at, a really important article on page 4, you can go to page 4 and see how that's performing and then tweak your content as required. You can also check out reading devices, reading source, and geographic location of your readers. So as you can see, it's a pretty in-depth statistics tool. However, you can get a really high-level sense of metrics actually going back in to Adobe Express. So you're going to go back into your Adobe Express platform here, and then you can go into any publication and take a look at what the metrics are for that specific publication. So go into here, and see that this has 10 reads, 10 impressions, 1 click. Really go into anything here just to get a high level sense for how your content is performing. So if you are just taking like a kind of a going through multiple pieces of content here and want to see how they're performing, see what's doing better, just kind of get a sense for the trends here, this is a great way to do that. And this actually leads me into one of the final features of our Adobe Express integration, which is the ability to re-upload that publication. So let's say you have this fully published to issue, you've created the full screen reader link, you've embedded on your website, and then you realize, ah, man, I screwed up something here. I want to make a change. I want to edit something. You can actually go back into Adobe Express, make all of those changes, and then re-upload, and it maintains that same link. So you don't have to create, you know, you don't have to create a new document, delete your old document, you know, reshare the link. It's automatically uploaded in Issuu. So you click re-upload and then go back into Issuu and publish those changes, and your links are good to go. They are live. Alrighty, so I know we just covered a lot. We dived into a lot of information here, but that's the bulk of our of the information we're covering today. You can create your content in Adobe Express using their templates, using their advanced features, using the generative AI, and then go into Issuu seamlessly through the add-ons feature here in the left-hand side menu, and then push that into Issuu. So it streamlines and makes your whole content marketing workflow so much more seamless and so much smoother and so much quicker. So then once you publish or once you upload that, it uploads it as a draft into Issuu. It'll take you to your Issuu content here. You can adjust settings, you can adjust the title, you can add links and video, and then you can publish and share that content essentially across any platform, any channel, and then create derivative assets from that, like that social post, like that article, like that GIF, like that QR code, etc. So that brings us to the end of the demo portion of this webinar. I know there have been some questions popping up in the Q&A here. Now is the time where we will dive into that. Audrey, are there any that stood out or that we should get to right away?
Yes. If I share an article from my flipbook, do I still get the date about the readers or stats about my readers?
Yes, you definitely will. And I can show that again here. So again, I'll have to find a publication that has more statistics. But as you can see here, oh, this one hasn't been shared either. But as I shared in the demo, you can either check out stats for your publications or your articles. So the answer is yes, you will be able to see the statistics for the articles.
How to create a table of contents at the beginning of the document and include links that lead to another element on a later page in the same document.
Yep, that's a great question. I touched on that just briefly, but I can show that again here. So that'll be the same as our add links and video features, or I should actually, there's multiple ways you can do this. If you have links already created within your content before you upload to Issuu, those will be carried over. But you can do that additionally within the Issuu content itself. So that's what I did here. You can go ahead and just drag and drop and then select go to page. So this will be essentially the table of contents function, and you just select the page you want it to go to. We're going to click 2 here because this aligns with that little 2 indication here. Publish those changes, and then all of these will just direct to that page. Great question.
Do the links within the magazine remain after you re-upload?
So links that you have, if you're have them created within your original document before you upload to Issuu, those links will be maintained. But these links that we added here will not be maintained, so you'll have to re-upload those within Issuu. And I know this is something that a lot of people have questions about, and we're working on making sure you can carry these over, but right now you'd have to re-add.
Are these features available on all tiers of the subscription?
So no, not all of the features are available on tiers of the Issuu subscription. To get certain advanced features like those advanced statistics and like embedding the content on your website, for example, those will be on various tiered Issuu plans. And you'll get more information about those plans and what specific features you'll have access to in the follow-up email, including those bundle deals we mentioned. but you will be able to transform the content in Express into an Issuu digital flipbook for free. That's for free for the integration and for Issuu.
We have a couple questions about showing the social post preview again.
Yes. The social post preview and Express here, I think is what you mean.
Yes.
So for that, I will have to navigate to a different publication, I believe. Let's try this. I need to double check how to do that because we've already connected that's publication. Let's try this. Okay, go into different publication here. Let's see if this works. Go to the Issuu add-on. Okay, so because we're already connected to Issuu, I don't believe I can see that preview again. But let me, yeah, I don't think I can see that a preview again right now because I've already connected to Issuu. So unfortunately, you can't see that social post, but we do have that social post feature, which I did not actually explicitly mention in the demo. But you can find that also under the Repurpose tab right next to articles. So to dive into how we can create those social posts from your specific content, that'll be right here. We didn't have time in the demo today, but it's right next to that article features that I did discuss. You can find the social post right here.
And do these features exist only on Issuu directly, or is it just through Adobe Express?
Great question. So no, these most of the features we discussed are all everything, once we are in the Issuu platform, these are all Issuu features that you can use regardless of where you upload your content from. The only thing that's kind of innate to that integration is moving straight from Adobe Express, checking out your drafts and publications within the Express platform. So everything that we did within the Issuu platform today, you can do that regardless of where you upload your content from, whether it's from your computer or Google Drive, etc.
And final question, we have a couple of the same. Do the video links expire after a while?
No, the video links do not expire. So once those are in there, they're in there and good to go. You can obviously go in and delete the video or change the video, but it's not like it only lasts for a specific period of time. Awesome. All right, folks. So I know we do maybe have a few further questions here. So feel free to email those to webinars@issuu.com if you have anything we did not already cover today. But yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone for hopping on again, and hopefully that, regardless of whether you're an Issuu user, an Express user, or an Adobe Express user, you kind of gleaned some information today and learned how to maybe use Express a little bit better, use Issuu a little bit better, and use our integration to kind of speed up your workflow and improve your content marketing as a whole. Yeah, so that is it for us. Have a great rest of your day. And again, keep an eye on your inbox for those post-webinar emails. Thanks, everyone.